Huge achievements. Huge achievements, people. Hello, Phoenix. I'm glad you could join. My name is John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. Well, Michelle. I was sitting on the couch. I was watching an old movie from 1945. And I was thinking, why am I just sitting here watching this old time movie that I've probably seen 10 times when I can be trying to get my truth out, my story out, do a little preaching? I'm glad you liked the book. I appreciate that so much. This is a new book right here, The Historian Tale, The Amazing Return of President Kennedy's Son. That title says it all right there, especially when you Google John Kennedy Jr. and you see my stepbrother face come up. They're still pushing their fake narrative. They're still pushing their lies. And so many of us see through their lies. Huge achievement right here. Stolen Identity, Unveiling the Real John Kennedy Jr. by John Kennedy Jr. I've had one crazy life, people. Absolutely crazy. Living under MK Ultra, being put under, I call it being put under. It's a very powerful weapon of war being put under. It is huge. MK Ultra is one powerful tool. You can get somebody under MK Ultra and you can have them jump off a cliff. You can have them run their car into the back of a semi-trailer. It's crazy the things you can have people do. You can have people put a weapon in their hands and go do some very bad things with that weapon. It's huge. What I've learned, what I've seen, and the memories I have. And a lot of times I'll watch these old time shows over and over again just because it's something on, because my mind goes so fast. And when I think religion, I think of my Aunt Opal May Edwards that kept telling me I was going to be a preacher someday. And that's one crazy story right there, because Opal May Edwards came to me and said, I don't like what's going on. Please remember me. Please remember my name. And I never saw my Aunt Opal May Edwards ever again. And when I bring her name up, many attempts on my life, many. They're still covering it up to this day. Lanny sent me some wonderful letters to send out. Let's get this straight, people. This book right here, Stolen Identity, I could have not done this by myself. I couldn't have done it by myself mentally. I couldn't. I would try to write something and it would come out scribbles. Why? When you're locked in a dog cage and beaten, when you're put in a bathroom and you try to write a note that says, hey, I'm John Kennedy Jr., and they find that note and they beat you, and then you scratch in the floorboard with your fingernails, John Kennedy was here. It's really mentally messed up. It really is. So I thank each and every one of you for sharing my story, reading the book, leaving a review on Amazon if you've got the book. This new book is on Lulu. We're trying to get it on Barnes and Nobles right now. Wonderful lady, Mary Maxwell. That's her on the back. That's Mary Maxwell on the back. She's 77 years old and she's smart. as a whip. She's seen a lot in her lifetime also, and I asked her if she would help me write a book, and she called me a couple of times and said, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want me to help you?" And I was like, "Please." And Phoenix, you can send me a Cash App for a book, but you have to Google if you can't get your address and what book you want on the Cash App. You need to email me, message me. Somebody sent me a bunch of books to sign and send back to them today. I spent over $200 to get more of these books this month. And I just sent Mary Maxwell $500 to get some more of these books. So we're recycling all your love gifts to get the story out. That's what we're all about, getting the story out. Mary Maxwell has spent thousands of dollars writing that book, getting it out, and all her time and effort to wake up the world, to wake everyone up. But yes, to answer your question, you can Cash App me, basically whatever you feel is in your heart. If you live in another country like England or Australia shipping's huge. I quoted somebody a price of $32 to send them a book to Australia just for the shipping cost, and I went to the post office and it ended up costing me $42. You can go on YouTube. Dizzy on YouTube has read the whole entire book on YouTube. You can go there and get a feel for the book. You can go to Amazon.com, Stolen Identity, check out the reviews, hear what people are saying. A lot of people are telling me they're posting reviews, but it ain't coming up. Just being more hindered. I'm sorry I've been all over the place, but like I said, I was thinking religion and preaching and everything else. I've had a crazy, crazy life, and I've been into the second world. I literally died, I believe, more than once. I know once, but I literally think it was more than once. And I call it, and this is kind of my joke, the big bug zapper in the sky. Because at that time, the bug zappers were just coming out. You put them on your porch, and a bug goes to them. It attracts all the bugs. And when they finally get to the bug zapper, they go pop, and you see a big flash of light. That was my near-death experience with God. I talked to God. I was floating out of my body, and I saw the biggest, brightest light you can imagine. And I could not stop my body from floating towards this light. And what was that all about? I don't know, people. I'm just sharing my story. But I was actually floating towards a big ball of light, blinding light. It was bright. I had no control. I was just like a bug going towards the bug zapper at nighttime. And I was like, why? And this was my words to God. Why are these people treating me this way? Why are they doing this to me? What have I done to them? Why are they cutting on me and doing what they are doing to me? And I was asking God this. And next thing I knew, I stopped flying towards the big bug zapper. And I started floating back towards my body. I saw my body laying there on a kitchen table with people around. I was in the kitchen. I could see everything in the kitchen. And I went back into my body, and I'm here today. That was one of my near-death experiences, was the big bug zapper in the sky. After that, I woke up a couple weeks later with an IV in my arm with a big infection in my crotch area from what they did to me. They kept me on an IV because that's people within our government. They have the power to do that. They really, really do. Something from Lanning just popped up. Thank you, Lanning, for all that you do and the letters that you sent me to send out. with the help of Mary Maxwell and others. We're trying to get my name back. We're trying to get justice for all the injustice that's going on. And it's huge. Can you imagine going through what I went through, being kidnapped and replaced, giving a fake birth certificate your whole entire life, and always wondering, well, what happened to the real David Keith Quigley? You know, if I'm John Kennedy, what happened to the real one? And then realize it's all make believe. It's all fake. It's all a forged birth certificate. And so we've been writing letters and trying to get them out, and they don't want the story out. They're still trying to cover up the truth at the highest levels within our government, our Marshal Service, our FBI, our Secret Service, and our CIA. They don't want this story out. We'll see. Donald Trump said he was going to release the files of my father. We'll see. Because I know the true story. It was a takeover within our government by some greedy, evil people that didn't mind unaliving people to take money and power away from the Kennedy family. That's what it was all about, people. You know, my uncle, you know, my father was put right in front, executed right in front of the whole world. And I'm sharing all the executions that happened that they don't tell you. They just covered it up with identity theft. Identity theft. Stolen identity. That's how our organized crime makes their big money, people. If you think about how they can do it, they make billions of dollars doing it. They live a life of lies, deception. The devil is huge, people. The devil is huge. The greed for the almighty buck, it's huge. And going back to what Opal May told me, she always said I was going to be a preacher. She said, you're going to be a preacher someday, John. Yeah. So what is my God? If I'm going to be a preacher, what is your God? I've always, me and my sister Caroline, we would look at the clouds when we were kids and see the formations in the clouds and pick out the elephants and the bunny rabbits and all that. But what did I see in the clouds? I saw Greek gods. I saw kings and, the old men with the big wavy blonde hair, white hair, and the big beards. I've always seen them. I was put under MK Ultra once. And with the amount of drugs that they give you and every other thing when you're under MK Ultra. But you could look at the paneling on the walls and you would see all the faces and everything. And I would say, how come? Why do I see all these faces, all these people? And I don't even remember actually what he told me. But I've always tried to see into the future, talk with God. And with that said, I've cursed God. I have cursed my God so many times. It's a good thing I have a forgiving God. When I was young, everything out of my mouth was God damn this, God damn that. I damned everything in the whole world. I was so full of hate. I really, really was. It's a good thing I got a forgiving God, though. I talked to God. When I talked to God, I talked to that big ball of light I saw. When I was dying in the hospital and they said, you're probably not going to make it off the operating table. I said, I'm John Kennedy Jr. I can't die. I got a story to tell before I die. And I pictured myself talking to that big ball of light I saw when I had my near-death experience. And I was like, God, before you take me, let me share my story to the world. Let me get it out. And I was still shouting at the nurses and at the doctors, I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., and I got one hell of a story to tell you. Straight up. But what is my God? What is your God? My God, to me, is the creator The creator of everything. What is that? It's everything. It's more than we can even imagine. God, my God gave us this world to live on, and he gave us all the resources we needed to survive. That's my God. That is my God. Beyond that, when I have the religion, when I see beautiful flowers and nice green grass, I think, thank you, God, for making that possible for me and for others. If I step on that grass, I say, thank you, God, for allowing this grass to grow where I can step on it. That's my God. I want to thank you all so much for your comments. I really, really do. So, yeah, and to be honest, under MK Ultra and being with the Masons and the satanic cults that are out there running the country, I've been tortured, abused, and when you don't want to live, and they say, well, you have to swear your soul to the devil. Hey, I'm in. Just don't kill me. Just don't take my life. I didn't have the balls to say, yeah, sorry, I did once. But when you're tortured, and but God knows, God is the all-forgiving God. That's my God. But right now, the devil doesn't want me because he'll know I'll kick his ass. And God doesn't want me because God wants me to share my story with you. I would love to have a church right here in Bullhead City, Arizona. I really would. And help share the story. My story's getting out. I made a comment, and sometimes I comment without thinking, but I don't like to sugarcoat things. And it's kind of crazy because I was on Facebook and somebody said, Bobby Kennedy just made Gabby Guilford some kind of politician of some kind. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention. This just popped up in front of me on Facebook or whatever it was. And I remember that when it went down where she was shot in the head, that was probably MK Ultra. That was probably done by our CIA to eliminate her while she lived. She had brain damage. I remember that she could barely speak. I know she was going through rehab and every other thing. But I made a comment. I said, don't we want for America the best of the best? And if she has a mental disability, maybe there should have been someone better. That was my comment. I know it might have been mean or whatever, but I want the best of the best. And if somebody doesn't qualify, that's how I feel. We need the best of the best in power. We need lions in place, people that aren't worried about the publicity and the money. And then I got a call from the beautiful Mary Maxwell. She didn't know I made that comment on that. She didn't know. And she said, yeah, I know her. I know Gifford, and I really respect her. And I had just made a comment a few hours before that. It's funny how things work. But I said, I got all kinds of heat from that comment. I don't remember exactly what the replies I got for saying that, we need the best of the best in government. But anyway, I got some hate. And I said, oh, by the way, I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. I got some books out. And I basically got a message saying your books ain't shit. They probably don't mean a thing. The typical hate because I spoke my peace of mind. And what I did after the hate comments, I took a picture of this. And I didn't realize you can put pictures on comments on Facebook. So if you lions will do me a favor, a big solid, straight up, if you can take a picture of stolen identity, if you could take a picture of the new historian's tale, the amazing return of President Kennedy's son. And when you're on Facebook and you see like Juan O'Salvin or the Wizard or all these other people pretending, these people that support the criminal organization and the people that just aren't awake to my story, if you can simply just put my book's picture in the comment section, we'll get it out there. It's all about getting it out there. They don't want it out. Hello, Brenda. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate all you wonderful people in your comments. I really, really do. My story's in God's hands. I got so much going on. I got to be careful on everything I do. Remember, people, what I am exposing and the enemies that I have. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day. What goes through my head on Valentine's Day? The Valentine's Day Massacre? Anyway, things like that keep me on my toes. I know how the cabal work, and that's basically how I've stayed alive all these years, because I know how they work. I know they plan. Somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm coming to town. Will you meet me?" Sorry, I don't make plans, but if you do show up, let me know, because I might just show up and meet you. But I'm not going to tell the world where I'm going and how I'm going. And people are so brainwashed into talking out loud. Well, I learned at a very young age, you don't talk out loud because somebody's always listening. If I even told the FBI that, well, how come you're still alive? And I said, because when I tell somebody I'm going to the store, I'm not going to the freaking store. I'm going fishing. Or if I'm going fishing, I say, I'm going to Walmart, do some shopping. I don't advertise what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And that's what gets a lot of people unalived. But yeah, I was sitting here, and I do that a lot, just saying, I wish I could share what's on my mind right now. I really, really do. And then it's like, I got to go live. TikTok people, my second account got taken down. I got to make a new account on TikTok because I don't give up. I don't surrender. And if I do make an account, if one person hears my story, that's one person more they did not know. And who is they? They are our government. They are the people at the top. They really are. They are our CIA, our FBI, our Secret Service. They are the people that tell the President of the United States what to do. That's who's hindering us. The media, our social media, the regime we have in government. Don't want my story out. Don't want my truth out. We're having to go old school. I see my brother Henry. Henry took a picture of the book. He made a copy. And when my brother gets fuel in his car, he sticks that on the gas pump. He puts that in the post office when he goes to the post office. That's old school. You imagine when we've had wars, what these people have had to do to survive against the regimes in our government, in governments, just to survive. That's what we got to do, people, if we want to take our country back for the good of the people. That's what we have to do. We got to go old school. We got to realize, hey, our government is corrupt. They've bought everything. What you are shown in the media is what they want you to know. You see an attempt on someone's life and you see something like this that never would have happened. The staged photo op never would have happened in a million years, but you see it. And they push their agenda on you mentally. When you see the famous picture of me doing the salute when I was 3, I had just turned 3 when my father was executed. That's a photo op, people. How do I know that's a photo op? Because for hours and hours in my bedroom, our Secret Service agent was showing me how to do a salute. And they told me, you salute just like that when you're poked in the back. So that famous picture of me, little John Kennedy Jr., was a photo op. Why? They were building it up. Then they replaced me at around the age of 10 with a man, family, blood in, blood out, organized crime member to take my place, to steal, to lie to you, to deceive you, to fool you. There's so many things going on in this world to deceive you. I was in special forces, black ops, training. They taught me so much. The commanding officer would say, don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. That was the commanding officer. And he looked at me. He knew I was John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. He knew it. A lot of people knew it. A lot of people knew it. But what they put out there for you to believe, you got to go down the rabbit holes, people. What am I exposing here? I am exposing, and the best way to put it, I really, these people in the music industry, these people in the Hollywood industry, you hear this about the Simpsons and that about the music industry. If you go to Black Sabbath, War Pigs video, this was huge. Watch the video, Black Sabbath, War Pigs. Even if you're old and you don't like rock and roll, turn down the volume, whatever you have, but watch the video. Because the people put that video for the world to see, for deception. They're telling you what they are doing. You might think I'm way out there, but it's good for me how a way to describe it. You will see the people. You will see the people as slaves to our government, the people standing in the background like zombies, just in the factories, stamping out the same thing. So it's a good video to watch. You'll see a little girl that lost her family members to this big government. Well, what they do is they switch things around. They make a little to you. And my story is a big story of the century. It really is. I have 57 viewers. I have 41 likes. And I'm in a bubble, people. I am in a bubble. They don't want my truth out. I'm not going to give up. I'm not. I believe prayers work. A lot of people I've heard on the internet here lately, they're all congested. Strep throat, everything else. My neighbor's kid has strep throat. I've been all congested, and yesterday I was really bad. I thought I was going to pass out and see God. But that's how I've always lived my life. Hell, a month ago, I had a sty in this eye. It swelled up. I had to get a needle and poke all the pus out of it. I was like, oh, I'm glad that's gone. Now I can at least do a video. 2 weeks later, I got one in this eye. It swelled up. Had to get an eye patch because my eye was all swollen. It looked like I had a big pimple on my eye. So I poked it. It drained out. Now I'm better. I can do a video. So it seems like every other week the devil is hitting me with something. But I believe the power in prayers. I believe I would not be here to this day if it wasn't for all you lions praying for me and to get my story out. It's huge. I believe I'm still here because I talk to God and say, hey, let me get my story out before I come. And then you think of, and I don't know why I'm always thinking of this. I don't know why. I'm just kind of rambling, people. But I like old things, like an old silver dollar. Let's say it's 1889 silver dollar, and you look at it, and it's just like, that's from 1879 or 89 or whatever. Just make believe it's a silver dollar. You're looking at it. How many people touched that? How many hands did that silver dollar pass through that aren't alive to this day? And aren't here anymore, people. I remember when I was a kid, I made up my mind because I learned what death was at a very young age. I learned that you die and you go somewhere else and you don't come back physically. And it gets you thinking, how many people held that aren't here? The millions and millions and billions of people that got to go through the cycle of death, just like all of us are going to have to go through. And what happens? What's our God got in store? It's just like a big recycling factory of, is it reincarnation? How do we get, I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling. But, you get a kitten or a puppy and they're born. They know to nurse. They know how to bark. It's almost like everything is recycled when we're young and we're taught. It's almost like we know, like we've been here before. But it's a lot I think about. I think about some crazy shit, people. I really, really do. Hello, Jen. Henry, my brother, I love you. I thought Henry started this all love thing. I've been saying it, and Henry will message me and share a video or something, and I'll say, all love, brother. But he started that, and he told me a story. He went to Walmart. There was a homeless guy there, and he kicked him down $5, and the homeless guy was like, all love. And, hey, if we can start something saying all love and get it out to the world, where everybody in the world saying all love, imagine all the good we can do. And if we can start something sharing everybody stolen identity, you imagine the changes we can make by exposing the cabal. Huge. So yeah, if you can take a picture of my book, and on Facebook is one of the accounts I still have left. I know it's hacked and blocked, but if you can leave it in the comments, I was like, I seen it come up on a comment I was leaving and said, hey, I can leave a picture here. So I left a picture on Facebook of my book, the new book. Maybe you lions can just start when you share the story to get it out there for me. If you make a comment, please add a picture. Let's see how if we can build this up, the search engines, and get it out there. A lot of people are telling me they search it, can't find it right now. Well, it just came out. It's hot off the press. And yeah, I got a sore throat, people. I do. I hate. It seems like every week there's something else. But if I fall down, people pick me back up and let's go. All love to all of you. There's so many people that go out of their way to share my truth, and so many more we need to get to. So many more. We need to bust the bubble that these billionaires and these people in power, and trust me, they are the cabal. They got everybody fooled. They got all the money. They can spout their lies, and I've seen their lies so many times over and over again, just being who I am. And it's all deception. It is all deception. They're not there for you, people. They can say they're there all day long. Oh, I'm there for you. It's going to be okay. We're going to fix this. And every single year that I go to the store, I see more homeless. I see more abandoned homes. People can't pay their bills. Blah, 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 blah. I hear about more people dying from the fentanyl and the drugs and everything. Why do they do that? Because they're put down so far. They need an uplift. And sometimes that uplift takes their life. I know I smoked pot when I was young, all the time, so I wouldn't have to remember, so I could just forget, because pot will make you forget. And I might hear some bad, oh, no, it doesn't. Well, it made me forget anyway. I would go to work And I always had to work hard jobs, digging ditches, carrying bricks, mixing cement, putting roofs on, carrying materials up on roofs. It was labor work. So I would smoke a big joint before I'd go to work and do my job and try to forget that it was all hard manual labor. And at lunchtime, I'd smoke another joint and keep trucking and keep doing all that manual. I didn't do drugs when I was driving truck because I didn't want to put anybody's life in danger. But when I was doing construction work and digging ditches, I would get high because I wasn't putting anybody's life in danger but mine. I'd get stoned and have a couple 100 pounds on my shoulder climbing up a ladder and fall off the ladder and land on my head. I did that a couple times. Maybe that's my problem. I fell on my head one too many times. But all love, people. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. It is. I didn't get Robin a Valentine's present. If I do, it'll be something small. Because right now it was all about books. You people have gifted me money, bought books, bought pennants, and I turned around and I spent a couple $100 with stolen identity to get more books, and I spent $500 on more books here. They should be here shortly. The orders are in anyway, so we can keep sharing the story, getting the truth out to the masses, and we can make this world a better place. We can. One share at a time. You all are so appreciated. Yeah, Angie, I understand that. I call it Love Day. But if you don't do Valentine's, at least tell each other you love each other and you appreciate each other so very, very much. I know I'm going to tell Robin that. I tell her that every day, though. That's my thing with Robin. I get up and I say, Robin, did I tell you how much I love you today? Because life is short, people. Life is so freaking short. It's Friday tomorrow. It was just Friday yesterday. Seems like these weeks are just screaming by. And I'm living up my lifetime trying to get this truth out. And I wish it would just go boom and get out. But the time's going by fast and the story's trickling out. But do me a solid and hit the share button. If you got an audience and want me to come on and share my story and want to ask me some questions, hit me up to my Gmail. Yeah, Robin's awesome. Robin is awesome. Robin showed up at my doorstep, and Robin gets a lot of hate. She really does. I know I get to hate, but Robin gets a lot of hate for being with me. A lot of it might be jealousy. But Robin showed up, and she seen I was living in poverty. And she was like, you're John Kennedy Jr. What the fuck is going on here? What do you need? I said, well, I need the computer so I can share my story. Boom, I had a computer. Wonderful gal, Robin. She puts her heart before she puts her pocketbook. And I love her. I was like, if we hook up, what you're going to have to sacrifice for being with me? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Wonderful gal. Wonderful gal. I couldn't tell her I love her enough, even when she's bitching at me for something. But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I actually was at the market, and they had those chocolate covered strawberries shaped like a little heart, and I got her one yesterday. But I love my Robin. I love all you angels. You are all angels to me. What I went through, like I said, I couldn't write a book myself. I tried. For years, I tried. I had scrap paper this thick on my stories. Maybe I'll find them someday and try to read them. But it came out all scribbles. And when Jackie Goldman asked to help me write this book, I said, let's do it. Let's do it. That's my dream. That's a huge achievement. And huge achievement. but it should be the #1 best-selling book right now. It should, but it's being hindered. It's being blocked. If you read the comments on people that have read the book, you're like, how come it's not #1? It should be. Well, that's because I'm John Kennedy Jr. and what they did to me was horrendous. What they're doing to me right now, it's horrendous. And then Mary Maxwell flew in from the East Coast. And she said, I want to interview you, John. I flew all the way here because I believe you. I can look in your eyes and see your daddy. Straight up. And I said, Mary, please, you're awesome. You're wonderful. You're smart. You're intelligent. Help me write a book. A couple weeks later, she said, John, are you still serious about me writing a book for you, for us? I'm like, yeah. She said, good, because I'm halfway through it already. She don't fool around. Mary Maxwell don't fool around. She's like, I got to get this done. We got to get it out to the world. It's in paperback, people. They can't take it away now. They can't. It's right here. The proof is in the pudding, people. Straight up. Thank you, Henry. Let's see. I got a funky glare going on. The Historian's Tale. Let's see. Right there next to Stolen Identity. You all can screenshot that and share that on Facebook and all the others. I got to touch the flu, people. I've heard a lot of comments of other people being down and out with the flu and sore throat and congested. I don't ever do this, but let's say a prayer, people. There's 50 people in here. To everybody, all you lions that are feeling sick and congested and down and out, let's get some energy. Let's get God's love, God's energy to all these people to make them better so they can keep going and tell others that they love them. Straight up, amen. Amen to that. Med beds, I can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, but I need my rest, but I got a story to share also. I do. And I start feeling down and dizzy, and I go to my frequency pendants that King Smarty sent me, and power up. I ask God to give me the energy and the strength to keep going each and every day. Thank you all so much for viewing my live. Once again, if you can screenshot my book, if you have my book, let's start getting this all over the internet, people. They don't want you to know what's in this book. They don't. So if you got this book, please share it with others. Please. It's a huge story. I'm trying to get out each and every day. I see so many wonderful lions on here, so many wonderful comments, beautiful people. And you people are going to bust this story out and make this world a better place. Straight up. You are. You all have a good night and a wonderful love day tomorrow. Tell somebody you love them and how much they are appreciated in your life. Life is so short, freaking people. I've been on my deathbed more than once. I've had so many death threats. And yeah, you think life is short. It is so short. You're here 1 minute and you're gone the next. You can't take what you got. And what we got is love, light, and we can at least share that and make people feel loved around us and appreciated. With that said, God bless you all. Have a wonderful night, wonderful day tomorrow. Peace out. All love to you all. Keep going strong. Peace.